The markets are doing horribly here in the US and around the world, and people are worried if they're gonna ever be able to retire. And while all of that's going on, the guy they chose to save them, to save all of us, to save America is doing, well, you can probably guess what he's doing. Yeah, it's that. He's golfing still, constantly, nonstop. What has he golfed? 12 times since he won the presidency. That thing that he wanted so bad, that he believes was stolen from him, that he worked tirelessly for 4 years to stoke conspiracy theories and hatred of democracy to finally get back into office. And he can't stop golfing instead of working. But anyway, that's what he's doing. He's even bragging about it on social media. He's posting about it, and people are liking it. Someone is clicking like on that shot of something like a person playing golf as the world burns, and championship golfers and all of that. I think he's trying to include himself in that pathetically. But anyway, this doesn't look good, and it's kind of hard to defend, even if like your job is to defend this sort of thing, as you'll see as we turn to Jesse Waters.
Jesse, one of the things I cannot stand is complaints about golf.
Me too. And that's not a middle finger to middle America. That's a middle finger to all these foreign countries who are trying to get on the phone and negotiate these tariffs down. But if Biden was golfing during a stock market like this, I'm sure I wouldn't say a word.
You wouldn't.
I would not.
Yeah, so that's fun, I guess, that he could kind of admit that obviously they would be acting entirely different if it was the other way around. And being able to acknowledge that is a good step one. I think step two would be to like do something with that knowledge and with that acknowledgement. Like, so you would be freaking out, and you'd think that you're right to be freaking out. So maybe you should be freaking out right now. Maybe that'd be a good thing. But anyway, he's dealing with that, and it's hard for Jesse Waters to evolve much as a human in this area of hypocrisy when he's focused so much on evaluating every single thing that he eats and drinks and whether it's gonna make him look gay. But anyway, other Republicans are dealing with this entire situation in different ways. Mark Kaye was a guest on Newsmax, and he still thinks he can defend the golfing. Take a look.
The big thing I saw was they were all complaining that President Donald Trump was casually playing golf over the weekend. Well, when you're in the middle of a negotiation, you don't want people to see you stressed out. You don't want them thinking that you've made a mistake. So Donald Trump goes, here's the deal. It's Liberation Day. You're all getting reciprocal tariffs. I'm gonna go hit the links. And now all of the other countries realize that Donald Trump is not losing sleep over this.
Yeah, I'm not so much worried about whether other countries think he's losing sleep. I'm a little bit more worried about whether the millions and millions of Americans who are terrified about what just happened to the collected wealth that they have over the course of their entire lives and careers, painstakingly collected, as it's become harder and harder to do so with rising prices and rising rent and mortgage rates. But they still put together some sort of nest egg that maybe can give them a retirement with just a little bit of peace, a little bit of dignity, and it's gone now. And he's not losing sleep over it. As Mark Kaye said, he doesn't seem to care literally at all. And that's not good. Mark Kaye, it's not good that he doesn't seem to care at all, and not even seem. He doesn't care. He literally doesn't care at all about it. And I know that Mark Kaye, he's a different sort of situation right now. Me and Yaz, you know what we have to do? We have to think and put together sentences and then say them and hope that what we're saying bears some relationship with reality. Mark Kaye doesn't have to do that. Mark Kaye has to do pro-Trump propaganda no matter what happens, no matter how laughable, how ridiculous. I personally think it's a pathetic way to live your life. I hope that he's getting paid well in exchange for it. And Yaz, what do you make of this?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so I think I mentioned this last Friday. You and I were doing the main show, and this is to Jesse Waters' point that he would be covering this golf story differently had it been Biden doing all of this and not Trump. That is one of the big differences between the left and the right, because I think I said this last Friday. If Joe Biden was doing any of what Trump is doing right now with these tariffs and then golfing, we would have been having the same discussion on the main show, you and I, regarding those tariffs, regardless of which party the president who is doing it belonged to. And by the way, of course, Trump isn't losing sleep over any of this. He is a narcissist and he has no soul, so he doesn't feel things. Probably. I don't know if souls are real, but if they are, I bet he doesn't have one. But here's the thing though, with the golfing, right? This is actually much more serious than just something that's annoying to look at. Something that goes beyond whether or not he can feel things. It's not just that he's golfing immediately after torching the global economy. That is upsetting in and of itself, but it is mainly that, but it's also the fact that this man has golfed for all but one of his presidential weekends, something that Republican voters really don't like. They don't like to see presidents golfing. They really didn't like to see Obama golfing. Trump, by the way, golfed at least twice as much as Obama did during his first term, but maybe the Republicans just missed that. So maybe they don't know about all of that. But then there's the fact that these golfing excursions that Trump is going on nearly every weekend as the president, they are being paid for with American tax dollars. So far, for Trump's second term in office, taxpayers have paid $26 million for Trump to go golfing. And he's usually golfing at his own golf club. So those tax dollars are going right back into his businesses.
Yeah.
Trump is taking our tax dollars and putting them into his own pocket. And then this is the same guy who wants to talk about government efficiency and fraudulent spending. And I'm not the first commentator to say that most people aren't opposed to having the government run more effectively and more efficiently. That's not a hot take. That is just something that any sensible person would want. It's nothing new. But whatever Trump and his administration are doing right now, it's not helping to make government work harder or better for us. Because why would it? Trump he's not one of us. He never has been. He doesn't want to be. He never will be. And anyone who believes otherwise, I think, is a little bit delusional. But right now is tax season, right? And the number one grievance that anyone has whenever it comes to tax season is that people don't like paying taxes, one, because it's money out of their own pockets, but also because they don't like paying for things that they don't want to pay for. That is exactly what's happening here. We are paying for Trump to go golfing at his own golf clubs, and he's making money off of it. He's taking money out of the government and putting it into his own pocket. And that in and of itself should be incredibly upsetting to the American people, especially as this administration is running this whole crusade about government spending and fraudulent government spending. This is the fraudulent government spending that they keep talking about.
Yeah, I mean, it's only a couple $1 million a weekend. I mean, whatever. And again, he could easily pay for it. It'd be the easiest thing in the world for him to pay for it. He's choosing not to. And you rightly point out, it isn't just that we're paying for it, it's that we're paying him to play golf. That seems insane. If you enjoyed that, then make sure that you never miss another video by subscribing. And if you want a little more, consider hitting the join button and becoming a member. So you're probably wondering, why would I do that? Well, when you do that, you get access to bonus content that I make every single week, and it's a lot of fun. You get custom emojis and more. If you join at tier 3, by the way, you even get access to a monthly member hangout with myself. And you'll get all that going forward, but you'll also unlock years of the back catalog that is literally 100 or more bonus clips and top 10 lists and debates and more. So what are you waiting for?